Hello there. To anyone who has not seen this channel before, my name is Dean, and I am the one operating the Super 8 movie camera here. Our parents brought myself, Jenny and Mark, who have appeared in other videos on this channel, to Borley Church due to its fascinating tales of hauntings and the supernatural, of course. Here, I believe I tried to show the path that the hauntings took from the site of the old Borley Rectory, which burnt down, to the church itself. I've been wanting to step foot inside this church all my life. And finally I do, on an overcast day in Essex, England. On the 27th of February 1939, a building dubbed the most haunted house in England was burned down, supposedly caused by an oil lamp accidentally tipping over. This house was called Borley Rectory, situated 70 miles northeast of London in a very small English village. The rectory was built in 1862, just across the road from the 12th century Borley Church. The rectory was built for the local vicar, the Reverend Henry Bull. The 32-room rectory catered for Reverend Bull's large family of 14 children. The hauntings reputedly started in 1863 when the Bull family took up residence. Apparitions, footsteps and poltergeist activities were all reported here. Reverend Bull died in 1892, so his son Reverend Harry Bull took up residence as parish priest. His sisters remained with him at the rectory. It is thought that some of Henry Bull's daughters had fabricated some of the supernatural occurrences due to the fanciful publications they read. Harry Bull died on the 9th of June 1927, so the whole family moved out of the rectory, so then became vacant. 1 year, 4 months later on the 2nd of October 1928, the Reverend Guy Smith moved in and immediately reported ghostly goings-on. Mrs. Smith found a skull wrapped in brown paper in a cupboard. Footsteps were heard. Servant bells were heard that were not even connected. Odd lights and orbs were also seen. The Smiths decided to contact a newspaper called the Daily Mirror, asking if it was possible to get help from the SPR, the Society for Psychical Research, headed by the well-known investigator Harry Price. Instead, the newspaper sent a reporter to the rectory, who arrived on the 10th of June 1929. Newspaper stories soon made Borley Rectory famous across Britain. Harry Price, the psychic investigator, arrived 2 days after the reporter. Later, reports of new phenomena were happening. Oddly enough, when Price left, so did the occurrences. This opened up criticism about his authenticity, and people thought he used Borley to increase his fame. Interestingly enough, he built part of his career as a debunker. He was also an accomplished magician. After 2 years of living at the rectory, the Smiths moved out on the 14th of July 1929, and due to the infamous history of the property, it was difficult to get new tenants to live there. But later, in 1930, the elderly Reverend Lionel Foister, who was the first cousin of the Bull family, moved in with his wife, Mary Ann, with their adopted daughter, Adelaide. Soon after, the paranormal activity restarted in earnest, objects being thrown, bells ringing, footsteps, doors opening and the like. The Reverend Foister even tried to exorcise the rectory twice and was attacked by a large stone being thrown at him and hitting him on the shoulder on the second attempt. Doubt was cast over these events though, when it came to light that the Reverend's wife, Mary Ann Foister, was having an affair with a lodger there, and falsified these phenomena to hide her sexual activities with the said lodger, Frank Peerless. After the retirement of Reverend Lionel Foister soon after, the rectory became vacant again, until Harry Price stepped in again and leased the rectory for a year from May in 1937. After employing 48 students to cover this lease time and research the phenomena at the rectory, similar paranormal activity was reported. When the lease was up, Captain W. Gregson moved in, and while unpacking accidentally tipped up an oil lamp in the hallway, causing the rectory's fiery demise. It was later discovered though that Gregson caused the fire deliberately to claim on the insurance. It is said that since the rectory was demolished, whatever paranormal activity was there moved itself across to the church over the small road that cuts across the village. We took up an opportunity to look inside the old church, and while we do, play some audio excerpts of a TV documentary from 1975 called Meet the Ghost Hunters, which helped prop up the notoriety of the area.
Now, my tape recorder is down by the tomb. What family is this?
This is the tomb of the Waldegrave family, who were associated with the area for many years. And there's a possibility that one of this family is the origin of the figure who's been described as a ghost nun.
How can a Waldegrave be a nun?
Well, the figure has been described as having a veiled headdress, and it's not certain that she's a nun. Also, this tomb has been the scene of a number of inexplicable incidents. People have heard the sound of earth falling, of raps and taps, and even there are some reports of some of the pillars moving.
Well, maybe this is what we have on this tape. And I'll play it to you now, and we'll see if Mr. Coombe Hollingworth got anything like you were talking about.
Our investigation was to be carried out in the church, and we came armed with tape recorders. We left the two recorders running on their own inside the building. Before locking the machines in, we searched the building. This session proved to be the most exciting one, for we firmly believe we recorded the sound of a ghost stepping forward and opening something which sounds like a door. At first, we thought we'd recorded the sound of the chancel door being opened, so we investigated this possibility. But neither of these sounds in any way seems to match the ghostly one. Nothing in the vicinity of the altar that we could find could account for the strange recording. We were so intrigued by these events that we returned to the church the following Saturday and spent the entire night there. Having searched the building once more, we locked the machines in. And already the atmosphere seemed to be changing. Two of the team said they felt they were being watched by somebody. Now follows the most remarkable sound of all. For quite clearly, the center microphone picked up what obviously is a human sigh. After this, we decided to break the sequence of visits and to try again during summer conditions. We started recording about 1 a.m., and the first tapes revealed the natural ambience of the building and nothing else. But as we entered the church at about 1:45, we all felt a change in atmosphere. I had a definite tingle pulsing through my body, and a feeling as though a presence were pressing against my back. And yet there was nothing horrific about it. We felt certain, however, that this run would produce results, and we were right. It's the most surprising sound we've heard to date, and we were able to locate it as originating just in front of the altar rail. The team made another random visit at the end of August. A watch was kept throughout the night on the chancel door, and this proved worthwhile. For in the small hours, a glow was observed around the door, as though a phosphorescent aura were emanating. On this occasion, the church produced yet another sound. This ended with a rather more frightening sigh.
start when you was videoing it, wasn't it?
See any Sarahs?
There's a Sarah, but not a Sarah.
How do you spell the Sarah?
S-A-R-A.
Ah,
H on the
yeah. Anything interesting?
the ones over here.
Hang on a second.
They're all from the same family.
They look very new though, don't they?
Well, they're not all new, some of them are. I mean, the lady on this one, freshly one here, that was 2024.
Right.
But they go from all different. So look, we've got Patrick Payne and Robert Orlando Payne. This is all the Payne family club, I would imagine.
It's a pain, isn't it? Oh, there's Sarah there.
Yes, that's it. She died in 2024.
Oh, quite recent then. What if there's any graves buried under these somewhere?
Well, there might be.
Got rosebush coming out here.
Yes.
No, I don't smell. So I'll gladly put a fiver in the pot towards its upkeep. Call me tight, but it's all had on me. But yeah, I recommend a visit. I think look on Facebook, they'll tell you when it's open. But it's nice that they're opening it up for people to come and have a look round. And it might alleviate some of the stigma that has with it. Anyway, so thank you for watching this one and see you on the next one. There's a bit of dirt in the lens.